Your time's up, I done touchdown. I'm high stepping for the touchdown. I stay repping for the slums where the young bucks started loaded up. Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. My name is Samantha Wernet. I hope you guys are having a fantastic offseason. It's pretty depressing. I call it offseasonal depression, personally. But we don't have too much to cover tonight, but we, as we were talking about in pre-production and on our live stream, we actually have a special guest from our group tonight. So I'm going to start by introducing one of our commentators this evening, Matt Briggs.
What's up, guys?
And Harish Nookala.
What's up?
And Jacob Stinson.
How's it going?
Hello. Well, guys, listen, there's not too much to talk about. And, you know, NFL news is scarce, but of course, there's one big thing in particular, which we'll get to. We all know.
Hey, hold up before you go on. Someone wants to say something on.
Oh, goodness. Let's see it.
Boy.
There's no telling.
My son. That must be Lindsay Van Tassel.
And then also we got this
It's
one.
gotta be her.
This must be a Agent Hall hater. You got. Oh,
Finally, a Titans fan on this podcast. So, well,
Almost
that could
really
be.
struggle to get us Titans fans on here.
We do.
It is.
We kind of went into hiding back in, early January. So
We got RJ on.
John's
with
a good.
mayonnaise.
He's a good fan. He's a good fan. He just hates the Titans so bad. Everybody else hates him. So
He's the anti-Titans guy. Like he's the Titans fan that likes the Titans but doesn't like the Titans in their current state.
And I think he's just depressed because Matt Ryan's playing for the Colts, and he's a huge Matt Ryan fan. If we're being honest, I think it all boils down to Matt Ryan and his depression. Negatron, somebody just commented, because that's his nickname in our podcast whenever he's commenting.
That's
Probably.
It is.
Well, guys, listen. I'm gonna start off with this because I know that most of you aren't gonna want to hear it. As far as you two in particular, Harish and Matt, were on an episode where we had this guy. But to those people, and I'm going to preface this by saying this is not a sponsorship. This is just something I personally believe in so much that I'm pushing it this hard. And I've been pushing it this hard. So last year, it was like a year ago, right? Almost to the day. A year and some change. We had Rashad Jennings on the podcast.
Yep. And
my son's been reading his book series. He has a kid's book series called Arcade and the Triple T Token. So this is it here, if anybody can see it. It's a story about a kid named Arcade Livingston, and he's traveling, looking for what the meaning of these tokens are. And he's trying to outsmart a bully. And it's a 4-book series. I think it's grades 3 through 5. My son loves it. I've been pushing it. I'm trying to get it into the school system. I'd like to get it in the state, So if any of you work in private schools or you guys are into donating books to your libraries and stuff, this book is it's not questionable content. It's really good. And then for the older ones, this one, The If in Life. And there's Rashad right there. Look at him. Where's he at? There you go. My virtual background won't show it. But Rashad was on the podcast, like I said, a year ago, and he was talking about how he overcame all these obstacles, being overweight, having a reading deficit, and how he told himself he was going to be drafted by the NFL, and he was. He was drafted by the Jaguars. So I am a firm believer in these books, and I believe he's a great male role model and something that a lot of kids need.
You can find the titles at the bottom of your screen if you're interested as well. Yeah,
the title's at the bottom. It's Arcade and the Triple T Token. You can find more information at arcadelivingston.com. It's also on Amazon. It's, like I said, a 4-book series. And then his autobiography is called The If in Life. And if you do work for a private school or know somebody at a private school, the Arcade and the Triple T Token series, you can request curriculum. They actually have the curriculum already written. And then he also has a foundation called the Rashad Jennings Foundation where he does a reading challenge. And I just can't say enough about this guy. Like, I've probably been talking about it for a year. Like, he was just the most fascinating person we've had.
Not gonna lie, after that episode, I bought the whole series, and my daughter had a reading disorder too, and it's helped her out at like 110%. Like, it's a good series for kids.
Yeah, because he had mentioned, if any of you go back, it's still on there. It would have been this time last year. He mentions how he wanted to write these books so that they were addictive to children, kind of like how you're addicted to eating potato chips. He wanted kids to read them and be addicted to reading. And they're, I've donated them to the libraries. Anyways, like I said, this is not a paid ad. This is literally just me as a mom who loves this series.
Well, I have a recommendation. I don't know if this is a possibility for the podcast, but I believe Kevin Dyson is a principal in the Nashville area.
Yes. Yep.
So
really,
and I'm sure they have obviously a lot of mutual friends. I don't think they played at the same time, but just kind of both having that education after football.
A little bit later.
he was a yard short of Rashad Jennings.
No, ouch.
I mean, we drafted him over what was it, Randy Moss or.
Yeah, that was one of the things we did is after, as a thank you to him, we donated the books to like some of the schools in each one of our team's libraries. Mm-hmm. So, but if anybody has connections and a way to get in touch with him, this, like I said, this foundation, especially because it is a, non-for-profit, any Title I school, they can get it for nothing. And he comes in and he does like a whole reading challenge, and it's a really neat thing. And I'm thankful that people like him exist in this world. That's all I can say.
What's called? We're followed by Kevin Dyson, so I might have to shoot him a message.
Oh, what's up, Kevin Dyson?
Hey, yeah. So
what's up, Mr. 1 Yarder?
We're also followed by
he's the Music City Miracle guy. All right.
We're also followed by Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
But he won't come on the podcast.
And we thought he was going to come on here because he said he was going to. Pat McAfee.
Hey, 35 more days and it'll be a whole year.
Yeah.
Come on.
We'll get that.
It feels like it's been multiple years since y'all been.
I know. It's probably been well over a year that we've been tweeting them. We just
we forget.
Yeah.
But we don't stop. We like annoying people. That's why we're here.
We need to get back on that. Yeah, we're just annoying as shit.
You gotta be persistent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's persistent. Not annoying at all.
We got a comment that said low blow. I think that was my joke.
Which joke was that?
About to be 1 yard short.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right.
All right,
Some
guys.
things will never die, right? That's
NFL news. Now, listen, I know this is like enough is enough already. But Deshaun Watson, come on. We got to talk about it. It's like you can't even pretend that you are talking about NFL news and not bring up Deshaun Watson at this point. So as far as I know, okay, he settled 22 out of 24 cases.
20.
Correct? 20 out of 24?
Yeah, I heard 20, but
so it was 20 out of the first 22, and then two more were added.
No,
correct?
There's 24, and there's 26 total.
Oh, there's 26. Okay.
Oh, there's 26 now.
No, I had my math wrong. I had my math wrong.
Sometime this last month. I mean, who
knows?
He went on HBO.
You get past about 4 or 5 cases at that point. You're just like, all right, when does it stop?
Him and his lawyer went on the HBO Max docuseries, and he said, "I regret nothing I did." So 2 more said, "Oh, okay."
Well,
you don't regret.
said that what he did wasn't illegal.
Yeah,
but like, bro, that doesn't help you in civil court or with your employer.
Right.
We had a comment, and so we'll shout out the Ignorant Thinkers podcast. So shout out to if you're commenting in the private group, it shows you as Facebook user. But if you comment on our Twitter or on my personal page or on the actual podcast page on Facebook, any of those, or Twitch or whatever, all the different things that we stream to, it'll actually show your name. But since we're a private group, it'll show Facebook user. So shout out to Ignorant Thinkers podcast for watching.
Yep. That's Mr. Dennis Holmes. But yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, my bad. My bad. Sorry, Dennis Holmes. My bad. All right. But anyways, What else besides that, Matt? You are the Texans commentator, so I'd love to hear.
Well, the league is trying to suspend them indefinitely. They want at least 1 year suspension.
That's tomorrow, correct?
Tuesday is the date. That's
Tuesday.
They might no later than Tuesday. They might come out tomorrow. Who knows? But yeah,
I just don't know why this has lasted so long. But I guess it's the whole legality thing. You know, like it's not illegal to ask somebody. You know, but it's illegal to then whip it out and masturbate and.
It violates
that's when it becomes illegal.
Yeah,
it violates the moral code. I mean, come on now. I mean, you can't if you believe it's sexual assault or not, you can't do something like that.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, the sexual assault doesn't start until after you ask, and they're like, no, and then you just
take it
upon yourself,
right.
Then to do it, then that's I don't know.
So let me ask you this,
crazy to me,
Briggs. So there was, that first, I don't know, month or two when all this first came about, over a year and a half ago? Has it been that long?
Probably close to it, yeah.
Okay. So then you had that long time where there were just no coverage. Like Schefter, Rappaport, they just stopped covering it because there was nothing new coming out and he wasn't going to play anyway. Because before it even came out, he already said, I'm not playing for the Texans. So do you think in that big lull of time right there, Andrew Berry in Cleveland just assumed that it was going to be kind of swept under the rug and maybe he served like a short suspension? Because I just can't wrap my head around giving him a big contract, much less the most guaranteed money in his
the league's history.
$208
million.
I mean, Andrew Berry literally put his job on the line for this one signing.
Yeah, fully guaranteed.
Yeah, fully guaranteed. And they, made it to where if he misses a year, he still gets his money. So
yeah.
Well, I on the Cleveland Browns spot, I don't think they thought he was going to open his mouth and put his foot in there. Like I said, he pretty much said he don't regret anything. Like if you're guilty or not, you still should have some, regret to what these women are going through.
Yeah, and then he had a porn star at his house go viral too, like having Mia Khalifa. That happened in college with I can't think of her name, but yeah. But you see that? I mean, you can't believe everything you see on Twitter, but
right,
yeah.
But
what do you mean?
Yeah.
You mean everything I've been reading is a lie? Oh,
wait, Twitter's not real.
I didn't say that.
But
if only people would have listened January 5th. What?
But
what?
I think why the league is going to suspend him so hard is because Goodell knows that his job's on the line with this whole John Gruden, this whole Dan Snyder fiasco. Like he has to do something, and then I don't care about what your beliefs are. I'm just saying what happened this week with the overturn of Roe versus Wade. A lot of women are upset. So if you let this go unheard of, it can cost you something. I'm not saying it will, but you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to do.
It comes back to common denominator as a woman. Okay, as a woman, it comes back to the common. It comes back. I'm just saying it comes back to common denominator because we could also say the opposite if we looked at the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. Like anybody can say anything to make someone look bad, but when it 1, 2, 3, and then it kept climbing and climbing and climbing, and the stories all sound the same. And
there's 66 accounts of him going to different women.
Right.
26
makes it wait. I mean, at 12, 10,
and plus
8. It's like
you also got to factor in Ray Rice really didn't get nothing until they pushed it. Greg Hardy. I mean, a lot of these guys who hit women didn't really get a punishment. And so you got to do something to make it better because there's a lot of women who are fans of the NFL. So if you don't suspend this guy, you're pretty much saying, who cares? Who cares if somebody ejaculated on your face?
From Goodell's standpoint, he sees what Rob Manfred did in Major League Baseball with Trevor Bauer. I mean,
right. And that's what –
and Bauer's thing – sorry, go ahead.
Well, and that's one of what he said. Well, not him, but his office said, don't be surprised if the suspension is similar to Trevor Bauer's.
Yeah, because Trevor Bauer, that situation's fuzzy too. And after it all came out, I mean, the suspension for him kind of came out of left field. I wasn't even thinking about it when that happened. But, there's some stuff in that case where you could maybe say it was consensual, and they still suspended him for a full year. So, I don't know.
got 2 years.
So what
Bauer
were
got
you?
Two.
Are
He
you?
got 2 years.
Sports
I thought it was
Illustrated
one.
actually tweeted out that they're reportedly preparing to angle for an indefinite suspension.
Yeah, they're
With a
pushing
minimum
for
of 1 year.
Yeah, minimum
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I would be shocked if he plays another down in this league. I really would. I mean,
Well,
I think
Calvin
he would
Ridley,
eventually
too,
play.
got suspended for a full year for something totally different. With
Right.
gambling. He got a pretty serious suspension, which you can play the angle
and this
of that.
is way worse of a offense
Yeah.
than gambling when you're
Right.
off, when you weren't
Yeah.
in the league.
Yeah.
So, but the funny, nothing's funny about this, but talking about the Browns, Harish can kind of help me on this one. You traded away 3 draft picks, paid a guy $250-something million for Jacoby Brissett to be your starter.
Well, that's the angle I was wanting to take earlier is I don't see Baker Mayfield, bending the knee and going back and
No,
playing for
he's-
them. Would
he's
you want
done.
to play
He
for
said-
them if they replaced you with someone that can't even
He came
play?
out and said he's done. He said, and talks of him going to Seattle seem like they're about.
Well,
to
the Browns
wrap
need
it.
to do the right thing and trade him. He deserves to go somewhere.
Yeah,
Like-
I was actually just going through tweets, and this person who goes by @Rach_Elizabeth tweeted Baker Mayfield after Deshaun Watson gets suspended for the season, and it's like a text thread, and it's the Browns texting Baker Mayfield, and it says, "We're short-staffed for tonight," and it's Baker responding, "Damn, that's crazy.
yeah.
Good luck, though."
Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
I remember seeing that. I'm
Good
busy.
luck, Yeah,
I am very good friends with a Browns fan. I was actually in his wedding yesterday, or Friday, actually, 2 days ago. And he was adamant from the get-go. He did not want Deshaun Watson. And ever since
A
the
lot
trade
of
happened,
a lot of fans were upset
'Cause-
about it.
Andrew Berry and Stefanski were like, he was like, they've changed our franchise. Like, they made the playoffs, beat the Steelers in that wild card game in the COVID year. First playoff win since I think they moved to Cleveland, or I guess the expansion franchise after the Browns went to Baltimore. But man, like I just can't just fathom that move happened. I mean, even at the time before all these new cases came out, it was fishy. But even now, in hindsight, it's just it's got to be one of the worst decisions in like the league's history from a team.
But
I just can't believe like everything that came out after all that. Like,
And as a Texans fan, the return you got for him, knowing that
That
he
was
probably will never
insane.
play again,
Yeah.
like if the Texans wait another 2 or 3 weeks to move him, they don't get nothing.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've got Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, that seems a solid team. But are they a playoff team or a?
No,
a
that's
six-
it.
a-
I
a
think they get in the
6-win team?
playoffs with 7 teams just surely off their defense. I think the
Watch.
defense
Not in
is
the AFC.
good.
Watch.
In the running
No.
game,
Not in the
Not
I
in
think,
the
AFC.
they make the playoffs.
Not in
watch
the
Jacoby Brissett ball out.
They're giving
I
me
will-
Broncos
I will
vibes
laugh.
though. From like before they just traded for Russell Wilson, they had every position in order except quarterback.
I don't see it. I think we get a top 5 pick next 2 years.
I know for
Well,
y'all's
yeah.
case, you hope they don't win many games, but
You may,
Well,
you may
all
not
I
like
gotta
Bandit,
say-
basically.
I want to congratulate Deshaun Watson for one thing. Congratulations, Deshaun Watson. We have officially talked about you longer than Antonio Brown in NFL news. So,
more than Aaron
Golf
Rodgers
clap.
with all that Green Bay
Golf
stuff
clap.
that was going on the last 2 off seasons too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but nobody really talks. That's just normal stuff, right? That has nothing to like. Aaron Rodgers didn't go ejaculate.
get his
on
taint
people.
and get his
Well,
taint
yeah, I'm just
massaged.
saying, like they
He didn't
beat
say
the
no
Eagles
white
with
woman
Rodgers.
2020.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
What a simpler time when there was no white women in 2020.
Yeah. Oh, Antonio Brown.
And he just strips
Antonio
and leaves the
Brown,
field.
didn't you have some news on that, Harish?
Oh yeah, my guy Antonio. So I don't know who listens to the Pivot podcast. Excellent podcast, by the way, with Ryan Clark, Crowder, and who's the other guy? Forget the other guy. Anyway, excellent podcast. They have like just celebrities, but they had Mike Tomlin on, and I haven't seen the full episode. Probably watch it this week. But they were talking about Antonio Brown potentially coming back, and he basically is like, "Yeah, I wouldn't touch him with the 10-foot pole." Like basically, it's like there's no chance Antonio Brown is coming back. But
he's grasping at straws, trying to get anywhere, I guess.
He wants to get back in the league, and
all it takes is one team losing their number one receiver, and the teams get.
He's still a good receiver. I mean,
he is. He's just a psycho.
He just can't. Yeah,
he's just a psycho.
Don't threaten taking his bonuses away. He'll strip on the field. You know.
Sorry, he has mental issues.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of retirements, I guess you got the retirement of Gronkowski this past week. Him and Brady going back and forth on Twitter about who's going to have the most retirements.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
His agent was already saying he could be back by midseason.
Yeah. Well, Vegas has already pretty much put it at 50-50 odds-wise for him to come out of
Rob Gronkowski don't like doing OTAs or training.
Oh, yeah. He'll come back
don't be
between
surprised.
the last preseason game.
Season one,
In pre-production, when you guys were talking about beating a dead horse, this is how I feel about the Gronkowski Brady shit. Like, it's like I thought Brett Favre was bad, but just like I'm over it. Like, this is worse. Just
how?
Because I'm tired of it. Like, just stay or leave. It's like emotional abuse at this point.
I mean, it's kind of just a joke for them at this point.
I'm about
to come back.
I think it's
more good that it's both of them at the same time. Like, if it's just one, I can get it, but both like, all right, guys, come on now.
I mean, after the 2018 AFC Championship game, anybody that had to do with that team, I have nothing to laugh about. So, just saying.
We had plenty to laugh about.
Your friends in the division ended their dynasty, so
I have nothing to laugh about
for you.
But I'm sure you have nothing to say. Oh, here you go. Good segue, Stinson. We got a comment. Tighten up. All right. Let's move on.
Oh, Justin Briley. What's up?
Justin Briley. All right.
My man.
Jacob, give us some updates. What's going on with the Titans, man? I know there's not a lot going on, but
yeah.
Hey, don't run out of breath during this segment. Okay? I know that's what y'all do down there in Tennessee, but
yeah.
Take a deep one if you need to.
Yeah. So, kind of the common talking points locally here from the radio guys is, how's Henry going to come back from a full off season after his injury? The AJ Brown, will Bergs or Robert Woods be able to fill those shoes, which, time will tell. And then, as we're talking about earlier before the show, Teron Davenport, our ESPN NFL Nation guy, made a prediction that I probably saw this morning, that from what he's seen in OTAs, he believes that Woodside's actually going to be ahead of Malik Willis on the day one depth chart, which I think is kind of shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't imagine the Titans keeping three quarterbacks. We haven't done that in a long time. So
I wonder if that's to save him. Like, was there a reason? Is he not performing? What's going on?
Honestly, I haven't heard much about Willis and OTAs. Most stuff I've been hearing out of OTAs is just the Traylon Burks asthma attack. We can't draft a healthy first rounder to save our lives. So,
welcome to being a Jaguar.
From what I'm hearing, Willis can't hit the broad side of a barn. Like, his passes are very bad.
He's got an excellent arm, right? He's got excellent arm strength. Rocket arm. The dude can throw long, but he can't.
He's a project. There's a reason he fell so far.
His athleticism is undeniable, but his accuracy is.
You got to remember he's a third-round pick at the end of the day.
Right.
And
I mean,
I know it's not the same thing, but it kind of reminds me of
he's no Davis Mills.
His rookie year, or lineman coming out of North Dakota State, coming from a lower, small school.
I don't think third round is like that.
Big of a deal.
I mean, you would expect your third-round picks to produce. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying, you draft a quarterback in the third or fourth round, they're probably a project.
Yeah, I think the thing to
that's
keep
a good comment, Briley.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna learn anything from Tanachuk.
He's really not. Like, Ryan Tannehill doesn't want to teach him anything.
Sir.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill doesn't want to teach him anything because he has nothing to teach him. Right? Like,
I would hope he wouldn't learn from Ryan Tannehill.
Except how to throw 3 interceptions in a must-win game. I mean,
Hey, let's get carried by my entire team for a season. Yeah. That was 90 players deep, and then let's go choke it off in the playoffs when they finally return.
With my team getting 9 sacks.
Sacks. How many quarterbacks are going to lose a game when your defense gets 9 sacks?
9 sacks, and he did that. You know what? You can call it trolling. You can call it whatever the hell you want. Titans fans that are so confident in Ryan Tannehill, man.
Oh, I don't give him the time of day.
It's wild. And you know what? Yeah, it's wild. Like,
I'm
it's
over the
really
Bengals
weird.
game. I don't even want to talk about it ever again. But the problem is there's this kind of insanity thing going on in our fan base. Expecting something different from the same person. Like, what you're getting with Tannehill. He's been in the league long enough. He's topped out.
Stinson, I feel like I'm talking to a different Jacob today. You've grown
you
a
get
lot.
better conversations on a forum like
of
this,
you.
not on a Facebook group. But
I'm proud of you. I
that's
feel
another
like you've
conversation.
grown. I think college has done you very well. So I appreciate that.
Well,
Because
they got
I know.
Stinson.
Thank you. I'm so proud of him.
High school
son,
Stinson
thank
isn't
you.
doing that. You've taught your son some great stuff here.
Thank you. I tried really hard. I'm
I just really hope that they ride Tannehill this year, but they got to cut ties next year. And honestly, the way things are shaping up with Henry, Tannehill, and then them trading AJ Brown, I don't want to say rebuild because it's not a rebuild. The defense is still too good to not compete, but I think Robinson is kind of doing a mini moves here and there to try to account for the cap stuff that's coming soon with all that money they moved around last offseason.
I think one thing you have to keep in mind with Willis, and I wanted Willis too personally because I think Frank Reich could have done wonders with him.
We got a comment from the group. Justin Briley says, "Does the Colts fan even have room to talk? Can he even comment on Titan stuff?" Yeah,
check this out. I'm talking right now. See, I have a lot of.
I mean, you're talking about Tannehill, but
the Colts haven't done.
Again?
The Colts ain't been nothing since Manning. I had to talk,
except 11-0 against the Titans with one.
I mean, what's y'all's record against Ryan Tannehill? It ain't that great.
It's 1-3.
Well, do you have anything else to add before we move on to the Texans?
No, let's move on.
I wanted to finish my.
It's too depressing for me to keep talking about this.
I wanted to finish my Willis comment.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I think Titans fans need to expect that Willis is a project, right? And if they can give him the developmental coaching he needs, I think he could be good. Like I was hoping the Colts would draft him around the same time the Titans did because I think Frank Reich could have made him something pretty good. But yeah, they shouldn't have expected him to be like number 2 on the depth chart this year. I don't think that was ever their expectation. I think that I don't
think you draft a quarterback at all first through 7th round if you don't think they can at least be your backup.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Titans could put him on the practice squad. I think that's probably the move, right? I think they should put him on the practice squad and see if they can develop him there where he can get practice reps. And
we'll see what he does in training camp and get some preseason reps before we think he's fallen that much. But I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility by any means.
Well, if they're only going to carry 2 quarterbacks, I mean, that's probably the best avenue to do it.
I mean, Woodside's not going to give you anything. If Tannehill goes down and Woodside's your only active quarterback, you can just throw in the towel. So you might as well play the rookie.
Fair.
All right. Okay. I'm closing that jar of mayonnaise.
Yep.
Let's move on.
We gotta move on to the Texans only because our Texans commentator's laptop's about to die. So, Matt. Do we need to get you a charger, my friend? What's going on?
Yeah. Amazon it to me, please. Nothing really going on at the Texans camp besides everybody is ranting and raving about Davis Mills, how well he looks. So that's promising. And also all the draft picks are healthy. If our draft picks can be healthy, there's going to be a big turnaround. So don't be surprised, Harish, if it's 0-12 since 2011 on opening day. But I just want to let you know that. Don't get upset when the Colts lose.
Have they not won an opener in 12 years? Did I hear that right?
Yeah. If they lose to the Texans, it'll be 0-12.
I feel like I would have heard about that before. But,
no,
I'm not
is it 2012? I think it's 2014.
Is it 14? I thought it was 2011. Or is that the last time y'all won in Jacksonville?
That's the last time we had. Yeah, we haven't won in Jacksonville for like 80 years. But it's only 2014. Calm down.
That's okay. That's still another year. Eight more years.
Well, I don't think we're losing week 1, so I guess you can go ahead and I don't know what to think right now. I'm just kind of waiting it out and seeing what happens. I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm excited because we of course we beat the Titans last year. We should have won that second game. If if we had a different head coach, we would have. Coley is terrible. So
Yeah.
we got Lovie Smith, who I think should be in there. I don't know why he hasn't had a job. Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't have a job to begin with. But yeah.
But he does, doesn't he?
Not before this. I'm saying I don't know why.
Who's Mills' top target going to be this year?
The most underrated receiver in the league, Brandon Cooks.
Okay. He's coming off a suspension, right? Or am I totally wrong?
No, he was out
I'm
there.
thinking of Will Fuller. All right.
Yeah, he was coming off of a shitty quarterback.
Yeah.
That's true.
A rookie quarterback, sorry.
Well, you got it right. A city quarterback and Tyrod Taylor and a rookie quarterback.
Brandon Cooks is a sneaky good flex option in PPR.
I do like Brandon Cooks. But.
And of course, he had the second best rookie in the whole NFL last year at quarterback wise. So, another year to
you can make a case Mills was the best rookie quarterback last year.
You could.
Who was number one?
Mac Jones.
I don't know about that.
I think Davis Mills, Mac
You
Jones.
put Davis Mills in Belichick's system, I think he
does just as well. I think he does better than Mac Jones.
I would agree. I think we're going to look back at the 2021 quarterback class and say it was probably one of the most overrated quarterback classes.
I'll tell you who was better, though. He was better than Trevor Lawrence. By far.
By a long shot, yeah.
Yeah, by far.
I mean, nobody should have to deal with that Urban Meyer stuff he had to deal with. I'm going to give Lawrence a
we'll see what he does with Doug Peterson and the $15 million receivers they brought in.
I mean, David Coley wasn't kicking people on the field or getting or finger popping assholes at the club, but David Coley wasn't as good as Urban Meyer either. So
yeah, Urban Meyer was real good for that news feed. Right. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and talk about the Jaguars. Or do you have anything else to add for the Texans? There's not too much.
No.
Yeah. Anything else before your laptop dies?
Nope.
We're running out of time anyways. They don't even care about this anymore. I don't blame them.
Nope.
Actually,
no, we just got Justin Bradley talking crap, who can't even talk crap, so it doesn't matter.
Before we go on, I do want to mention a couple things. First of all, shout out to Gerald Gomez. Had a baby. One of our admins from Fan Battle. Boy. Yep. Little baby Derek was born in Texas. Ironic. But, so congratulations, Gerald. And we didn't mention Jalen Ferguson passing away from the Ravens. So that was super sad.
Oh, yeah.
And Big Moose, the Tony
Siragusa.
That was the same. Yeah, that was the same day. Yeah.
That was horrible.
Super sad.
Yeah.
That was wild.
So
speaking of the Ravens, next time, the Lamar Jackson contract could be a topic of discussion. Just throwing that out there.
Right. But before we do move on,
is Mr. Clinton salty?
Also, what's his face? Jacob, he just graduated college.
And, shout out.
Thank you.
Dylan is going to the military, so some big news.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. All right. So, Jaguars, we've got Tony Baselli, Hall of Fame, which we already know that. He's going to be like the fifth Hall of Famer who was like a first round pick. Is that correct? Was that a correct stat? See, this is why I don't do commentating.
That seems low.
For a team, it's the first ever pick. I'm going to have to look. This is why I don't do stats.
Number one overall
pick. A team's
pick.
first ever pick. Like a team's first ever pick. That's all we got. Because we got our first Hall of Famer going in. And you know what? Hopefully we'll have more in the future. I'm rooting for Fred Taylor and Jimmy Smith. But
JD.
Here we go. He will be the sixth Hall of Famer who was the NFL team's first ever draft pick.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's a stat that makes way more sense.
Yeah,
okay, listen, I'm trying. This is why I don't do that. I told y'all from the get 4 seasons ago when we started this. I'm not a stats person. I'm not good at it, okay?
Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm the stats guy.
I am not. That's why you have a degree in actuarial science, and I'm a cosmetologist. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
It's not
actuarial science.
He does.
Don't ask me to explain that. We got to.
Wait, that's really what your degree's in?
That's my master's degree. My undergrad's in math.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no big deal. That's just his master's. Okay. Yeah. But anyways, moving on. We had an injury out for the season. Jordan Smith. It was Josh Scobie's birthday 3 days ago.
Cool.
Trey Smith, aka Jimmy Smith III, is not playing with us, but from what I hear, he can keep his phone on. I was really sad about that though, because you guys know I'm a big fan. I was hoping to see, that was just more for the culture, of course, because I love him and his dad played with us, and I just thought that would have been awesome. But I was super upset. But then, of course, reporting to training camp July 24th. So actually the whole training camp schedule came out of when everybody's supposed to report.
Doesn't everybody report at the same time this year?
I mean, they're all
year?
around the same time. So we got, let me see, Tennessee rookies the 23rd, veterans the 26th. Houston rookies the 24th, veterans the 26th. Jacksonville the 24th, and they both have to report the 24th.
Yeah, I thought it was like the same time.
And Indianapolis rookies the 23rd and veterans the 26th.
And don't be surprised if Jeffrey Simmons holds out a training camp. Forgot to mention that.
Is he trying to get his contract? He should.
Yeah. So with that Aaron Donald extension that came out about a month ago, him being, you can make a very good case he's the best tackle not named Aaron Donald, and him making $2 million a year still on his rookie contract is not going to sit well with him. So we'll see how that goes. I wish the team would just bite the bullet and pay him.
I don't think the team's just.
He's going to get at least 25.
They should have bit the bullet and just paid AJ Brown, and they didn't do that. So
no,
I'm curious to see how that.
I think that from a team financial standpoint, they made the right choice there. But
back to the Jaguars, because nobody cares about you too. I guess Trayvon Walker's looking really good, and we got ETN back. He's practicing.
Good. Oh, I totally forgot you had that guy.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't take Urban Meyer for his.
He got hurt. Remember? Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So
didn't you say Walker was already prime Ramsey the way he was talking?
Oh yes, he had a quote about going to the Super Bowl, and I was like, "Oh no, this sounds familiar." Hold on, I'll see if I can find it. Where was it? He said, "Oh, the Jaguars tweeted it. It's a championship mentality. My main goal is to win the Super Bowl. It's going to take a complete team effort to do that." Which, first of all, common sense. Second of all, it's giving me flashbacks. We're going to Super Bowl. We're going to win that bitch. Like, stop.
Hey, stop. Jalen Ramsey's Nashville's own.
Yeah, good. Take him. He's found God now. He's too busy lecturing people online. It's great. Oh, Justin Briley had a comment. Good job turning Jack's talk into a Titans talk. I like this guy.
I'll do what I can.
All right.
JB.
Harish, Colts, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up.
I mean, I don't really have much to say. I mean, Darius Leonard's recovering from his back surgery.
How's Matt Ryan look? That's what I want to know.
Matt Ryan looks awesome. Matt Ryan I feel like we actually have a quarterback that holds people accountable and doesn't make fucking stupid excuses for everything.
Ooh, that's giving me flashbacks too. Ooh, okay.
Well, I mean,
I've heard you say this before.
I've never said Carson Wentz ever held anybody accountable, so let's not go there. Phillip Rivers did. Never said Carson Wentz ever held anybody accountable.
Y'all know what I do when I'm depressed? I watch that Week 18 Hard Knocks episode.
Oh, do you?
Source.
Yeah. I thought it was the Bengals game.
Yeah, I don't do that. That just makes me more depressed. But I do watch the Week 18 Hard Knocks episode on HBO
that's
Max.
Good. I'm glad you need us to also make you feel bad.
Feel bad? No, it'll make me feel better.
Oh no! But you said you needed to be depressed.
No, I said when I'm depressed, I watch the Week 18 Hard Knocks episode from last season.
Hey, give us more viewership. We like that. So, thanks for the attention.
Give us an update.
Thank God. T.Y. Hilton is still a free agent, thank God. Hopefully we don't ever sign him again. Listen, I'm on the anti T.Y. Hilton on the bandwagon of.
I could see him and Julio Jones not being signed this year.
Cool, awesome. I'm not paying T.Y. Hilton. Yeah.
I'll take him in Houston. He has a great career in Houston. Why not?
That's awesome. You pay him $10 million.
Oh God, no!
Who in their right mind is giving him
Absolutely
8 figures?
Jim Irsay.
He's not going to. I'm sure Irsay loves T.Y. Hilton. He's not giving him that contract at this stage.
I love T.Y. Hilton, but I don't $10 million or $8 million even. If it's anything more than $5 million, he can walk. That's my.
I think he could only get a veteran minimum contract at this point.
Honestly, he's going to retire as a Colt.
Sure, he can retire as a Colt after he comes back. Like I don't want to Here's my thing with T.Y. Hilton. His last good season was 2018. Who his quarterback was Andrew Luck. Hasn't been healthy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it always feels like at least the last few years, the only team he performs against is the Texans.
He didn't even perform.
Is it the Texans or the Jaguars that he always?
It's the Texans.
Okay,
it's always the Texans and NRG.
You just bring him off the practice squad twice this year.
I guess I don't know. I don't know. I do think we need another wide receiver. I just don't know who that is. I hope it's not Julio. If it's T.Y., I'm fine with it. It's just the money that they decide to give him. And I think Ballard is kind of in that same boat, right? It almost feels like it's a Ballard versus Irsay thing. Last year was.
Michael Pittman can't be the only guy.
Yeah. Well, Ballard didn't want to bring him back last year. He was ready for him to walk to Baltimore, and Jim Irsay calls him and is like, "Hey, come to my jet, and let's go."
How did he say it?
Hey, come to my jet, and let's go sing karaoke together. And then he signed him like a stupid $10 million deal.
That's a good Irsay impression because it sounded like a drunk Irsay, which he knows all about.
Yeah, for sure. And, the thing is, it's like he signed him to that deal last year, and he played 3 games. And it's just like, okay, like I'm done with the injuries. I'm done with injured wide receivers. Like every year, Paris Campbell, T.Y. Hilton, or end up using Ashton Dolan 9th string wide receiver.
Do you think Mo Alley Cox is going to be able to be a number 2?
No,
I don't know.
I think Mo Alley Cox has the ability to be a number 2 tight end, right? And I think it's because his consistency and being able to catch. Like he had plenty of opportunity. He should have had 10 touchdowns last year, easy. He dropped at least 6 or 7 of them. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to wait and see.
Well, at least he's not going to have a guy that's throwing pick sixes in his own end zone.
Jesus Christ, I'm so glad we don't have that. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Matt Ryan. I think the team is good enough to win the division. They're not good enough to do anything outside of that.
Well, I think that's everyone in the AFC South. Well,
and if they don't win the division this year, now I'm starting to question the front office.
I should have said everyone. No offense to the Jags and Texans fans.
Comment says the Colts are better off getting Deshaun Watson.
Well, funny enough, they tried to get Deshaun and the Texans said no.
Oh. Well,
sometimes
you'd be kind of buying the playbook at that,
We don't need to buy the playbook if we had Deshaun.
But I'm saying if that was a deal, you would kind of also be buying the playbook.
You better be thankful the Texans would not trade in division because that was the reason they said no to y'all.
Right, that's what
that was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Sure, no, I agree, but I mean they tried for Russell Wilson, they tried for Deshaun Watson, they tried for. I think Baker Mayfield at some point was an option. And Matt Ryan just fell in their laps. So we'll just keep bridging it up,
Eventually who knows? Maybe, Julio and Matt Ryan have played together, so that's an option.
I don't want Julio.
I think the only way Julio signs a contract is in the preseason.
They like to have familiar players play together.
Well, Matt Ryan and Michael Pittman have been familiarizing themselves with each other all offseason, so. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Excuse us.
Yeah, excuse you.
Our bad. Anyway.
We'll see. I don't know. Our defense is going to be phenomenal. I'm really excited about our defense. I'm glad we finally got rid of Matt Prevent Flus.
Take the unders in AFC South games this year. Just saying.
There's
not going to be much great offense.
There's a lot of good defenses in our division. Even the Jaguars. Yeah. Jaguars have a good defense. Texans have a good defense. and the Colts and the Titans have excellent defenses, in my opinion.
Because if our teams aren't running the ball, where are the points going to come from?
Big sixes.
Yeah.
I guess. Block punts, right?
Block punts.
Well, Stinson, I think it's past your bedtime, so.
It is. Mom's got my bottle in the kitchen waiting on me, so I have to
Yeah, she's warming it up for you.
Yeah.
You have
calling me right now.
Listen, this was actually very, I enjoyed it. You're going to have to come back on.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
Don't have me back.
And, well, especially when there's more to talk about and we're not
Well, you can see that I can
making
still talk
conversation.
for an hour in the dead of the off season, so
well,
be
listen,
careful what you wish for.
That is nothing compared to some of the other ones we've had. Don't worry.
Very true.
Have anything else to add before we log off, though?
Think I got everything out.
No, you're not going to give us one of your little phrases, Tighten up. Tighten up. No? Okay, good. Thank God. Harish, anything to add?
I ain't got nothing, I guess.
Harish,
You can end it
anything?
there.
No?
Wait, I'm just
No,
ready for
thanks.
training camp.
Oh, me too.
Oh, by the way,
Those are the facts. FACKS.
Yeah, there you go.
I do have one thing for all you Longhorns fans out there.
No,
Okay.
I gotta leave now. You mean the fake
Welcome, March
UT?
Manning.
You mean the real UT that's right here?
Welcome, March Manning. I don't know what
His
that.
uncle Peyton is upset with him for not going to UT, but it's okay.
I actually don't think he is, but okay. Anyway, welcome, Longhorns.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure, with the upcoming season, we were actually just talking, I'll touch on this real quick. Of course, the podcast Fantasy League is going to be coming up. We are going to draft on August 28th. So anybody that wants to play, contact me, Harish, or Matt, and let's get this league going. We already have a few people that play with us. It's $20 buy-in, nothing crazy, but we always end up drafting live or doing an episode. So we love to have people on, and once again, that'll be on August 28th, and the time will follow. And also make sure you check out the app Prize Picks. You can win easy money, and there is money to sign up. Just use the promo code FBSN, which stands for Fan Battle Sports Network. Once again, that's FBSN. We thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you check us out on Twitter. It's AFC SFB. That's AFC South Fan Battle. AFC SFB, which is the hardest thing to say. Harish, where do we find you?
Uncle Gandhi on everything.
The Uncle Gandhi.
The Uncle Gandhi.
I know your Twitter handle better than you. That's sad.
Thanks.
Stinson, where do we find you?
At Predators Fan 97 on Twitter and at JWS 97 on Instagram.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Sammy Football with an I, and of course Matt Briggs at A1 Day One Texans. And make sure you check out You Don't Know Jack podcast and Texans Fan Battle podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Good night. See you in a couple weeks.
Peace.
Peace.